Now to our first conversation. Well, Nigeria's manufacturing sector shrank for the second month in a row in March as cash scarcity in Africa's biggest economy hampered private sector activity. But how can the incoming government harness the potential in Nigeria's manufacturing industry? We're talking agenda setting here. Joining me now is Mr. Duro Kute, CEO Spectra Industries, joining me right here in the studio. Great to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
So it's been quite a tough year so far with central bankers globally and right here in Nigeria trying to rein in inflation, a very stubborn inflation that doesn't seem to be abating anytime soon. And we've seen them raise rates from 2022 up to 2023, talking about global central bankers. So I want to know how you manufacturers are managing, with this tight liquidity in the system and the expensive cost of borrowing.
In manufacturing these days, it's as if we are using our savings to still stay in business with the hope that it will soon be better. Because if we abandon it now, it will be difficult to go back to it. And that's what is happening. And central bank is not assisting manufacturers. They said they had intervention fund. Please ask central bank who got the intervention fund, then at what rate? Because someone approached me for 6% to his own pocket before I could be assisted to get intervention fund. And getting facility from BOI to procure machinery, we still need to go to central bank for foreign exchange. They don't give us the foreign exchange at the official rate because there's always someone in between, even inside the central bank. And the money we are talking about is like if we're able to get at official rate, businesses will grow. But now that we are not getting it, and they borrow the change are the one getting it, then it makes life more difficult for the manufacturers. So
basically, there are interventions by the CBN, but accessing it
is difficult.
But there are interventions.
There are interventions.
And some manufacturers could say, they have been able to access it.
Some, maybe those who have enough to pay extra. And not all of us, especially people in the SME sector, that could actually boost employment, they are not getting it.
So looking at, this FX situation right now, we have multiple windows, and you did talk about not being able to, access. There's always that middleman there that makes it hard,
more expensive.
Yes, for you to get, FX at this time. What would you like to see? We have an incoming, government. What would you like to see in that FX market that you think would help manufacturers?
I think the CBN needs overhauling, total overhauling, in a way that we make facilities available to those they are meant for. And the incoming administrators should see manufacturing as a priority. And whoever else the Ministry of Industry should actually be someone who has tasted manufacturing before, someone who has seen the suffering in manufacturing, and someone who will be between that can influence the foreign exchange going to manufacturers. And in manufacturing, money, foreign exchange, they are very important. Another thing is raw materials. Are they getting raw materials? Are we getting raw materials at the price that we can do and make profit. One, I'm in agro-allied industry, meaning that all my raw materials are sourced locally, and they are sourced from the farm. Those farmers, do they have rest of mind on the farm?
So security is another issue.
Because of security issues. So the incoming administration should first focus on the farmers. Let them be secured. Let them produce profitably. And again, ban exportation of raw materials from Nigeria and encourage production, at least to produce up to semi-finished. Because when you look at the industry, the giant ones in Nigeria, what were they doing? How did they build their own capital? They build their own capital by importing semi-finished products and just finish it up here.
Because that makes it cheaper.
It makes it cheaper. You know, we were doing pineapple juice before, but because the big ones could bring concentrate, add water, and sell to our people, makes that line unprofitable. And at the same time, we make soya powder. The soya powder is a semi-finished product. And many of these industries are importing from US, from China, from South Africa. When we started our own, we showed to the bigger industry, and they were interested. And since 2018, we've been supplying the bigger industries and the bakers with defatted soya powder, which actually makes their bread better and give them more yield.
So they don't have to import that. They don't
have to import that. Okay. And when you say export expansion grant given to those who export, even who export raw materials, they are getting grant for that. What of our own case, whereby we reduce the level of foreign exchange going out by producing in Nigeria and saving Nigeria millions of dollars? So what do we get?
So you should actually get the focus this time, since you're the one taking out less dollars, you know, the foreign exchange that we critically need at this point. But looking at all the headwinds in the manufacturing industry right now, does that industry need a bailout?
The industry actually needs a bailout. We need to be encouraged. How much was diesel before? And no electricity, we had to continue using diesel at the price of 800 naira per liter. Then, how do we break even? So it's as if the reserve that we had are being used in order to stay in business. And look at the effect. It becomes difficult in the market to increase your price.
And because consumers are strained, at this time, and raising prices will be, even though we've seen inflation at record highs right now. But now we're seeing the federal government right now talking about proposing, banning foreign goods that can actually be produced right here in Nigeria. Let's say that takes effect immediately. What do we need to put in place to make sure that the manufacturers here can actually produce those goods with the same quality and affordable right here in Nigeria, the way it is right now?
Okay, number one thing is government should protect the SMEs, in the sense that what we developed as SME, the big industries are coming to take it up and then use their power both in the market and the airspace to make sure that we don't sell.
How's that possible?
Eh?
How do they make it hard for you to sell?
Okay. Sometimes someone was producing a product and a big industry have similar products. They went to the market to tell the distributor that they will give them generator if they don't buy that particular product.
That's quite an expensive incentive.
So it's, and the way this thing can be done, we look at other industries, other countries who are familiar with Asian tigers. How did they make it? They prevented multinationals from going into the industries that their locals are doing. It happened in India. I had the opportunity to be part of study group that went to Asia. And all these things are the things that are happening over there. And in Nigeria, sometimes I mention it to government officials that, look, the name Chin Chin is Nigeria. It was invented in Nigeria. Why are the multinationals now making Chin Chin?
Selling right here in Nigeria.
The man said we should change our business model from government official. Okay, look at pure water. Who started pure water?
Right here.
It was expected that the pure water manufacturer will grow to bottled water manufacturer, but the multinationals took it over and prevented the locals from growing. For example, if I started with pure water and I'm now doing well and start making bottled water, later on I will make juice, I will make this, I will make that. But these people came and prevented. That's what is preventing growth of industry in Nigeria.
So at this point, you know, new administration coming in and saying, what are the first 5 things you want the incoming government to do in the first 100 days to benefit the manufacturing sector?
First, central bank. 2, security on the farm. 3, protection for SME.
And protection means nationalization at this point.
Protection for SME, protection for farmers, protection for the manufacturing industries generally. And then help us fix the roads.
First 100 days, that's what you want to see?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, let's hope the incoming government is actually listening at this time. Thank you so much, Mr. Duro Kutei, CEO, Spectra Industries Limited. It was great having your perspective today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, so we'll take a break now. When we come back, AFEX Commodities Market Update is next. Do stay with us. This is Business Morning.